And now I've got to fix my monitor setup. That's awesome. Okay, we are officially live streaming to the GHL Mastery free group. Who's all excited? Let's see some thumbs in the air if you guys are ready for what we've got cooking today. What we've got cooking today is it's something that we've talked about before. When we did our last webinar on AIs, this kind of got brought up and it just caused a huge, massive stir. And we're like, hey, let's do that again. Let's stir the pot some more. And let's show people what's actually possible with this high-level platform that we all have access to. And so the topic of today and tomorrow is all about how do you take what you have with Highlevel and change the way that you're selling it? How do you actually take what you have, sell high ticket solutions instead of low ticket monthly recurring revenue, which by the way is still included in our model, but we're going to deliver it in a slightly different way. And so given the dialogue and the conversation that we had on the AI webinar that we did last month, we figured we needed to start today with a little bit of a mindset shifting exercise. So today might be a little bit more boring, but I also think that it's way more important for you guys to be paying attention and listening to and letting it sink in as to what you actually have. Because what Brendan and I are going to be showing you guys today is the thing that kind of changed the way that we do business. Now, a quick introduction as to who we are. Brendan and I, we've both been using the Highlevel platform for the better part of 4.5, almost 5 years. To put that in perspective, Highlevel has been around for just over 5 years, just over. So we've been using the platform since the days of campaigns and triggers. And we've had the benefit, obviously, of growing up with this platform, and we absolutely love it. We think that it's probably the greatest platform on the internet, as most of you guys do. But as with most of you guys, both Brendan and I were two separate companies before we partnered up, and both of us had the same freaking problems, right? Both of us had the problems of selling this thing, scaling this thing, getting people to subscribe, losing clients, getting clients, losing clients, getting clients. Now, if that feels like you and you guys are on this Zoom call right now, I want you to put some ones in the chats to let us know if you've experienced that. Either a hard time getting clients, a hard time keeping clients, and a hard time really scaling to a point where you could actually properly sustain your lifestyle and your family's lifestyle, never mind just having this awesome software sitting in the background. The conversations that we have with so many people is, I just need one more client. I just need one more client and then I'm good. And then they get that one more client and they realize, oh, shoot, that wasn't actually the answer. I need 10 more clients. And then they maybe get 10 clients and then they realize, oh, shoot, that's actually not the answer either. Because as you get more clients, your expenses go up, your workload goes up. You're no longer free to do the things that you actually want to do. And we're all trying to build an online lifestyle that, we can, I'm going to Mexico in a couple of weeks with my family. Guess what? This lifestyle is allowing me to do that because I've built a business around higher profit margins, which allows me to hire a team, which a whole bunch of them are in here today monitoring this chat. Everybody that's with RM Marketing, GHL Mastery, give us a wave. They're all here because we can afford to do those things because of the structure and the model that we have with our high-level SaaS, which is what I want to teach you guys today. So if you are all ready, let's see some ones in the chat. We've got to give me twos. I want to see some twos. If you guys are ready to learn some of the things that we have to talk about today. We're going to try to do this in under an hour. And again, today's going to be a lot more theory, a lot more mindset shifting so that you guys know and understand what you have available to you. Tomorrow is going to be kind of the meat and potatoes day where we get into the sales strategy and the fulfillment strategy around how to actually do this model that we do, which is different from everybody else. Well, I feel like it's different from everybody else. Maybe it's not. But let's dive in. I have to get the right window open. This one. Can everybody see my screen? And then if you can, Brendan, are you guys all seeing my presentation or are you seeing my presenter presentation?
It's still loading on my screen.
Oh, it says that I paused my sharing. That's annoying. 1 second. Let's get out of presenter mode and just go classic full screen mode. Enter full screen mode, share screen, full screen. Can everybody see that?
That is much better.
Love it. Okay, awesome. So guys, day one, we gotta rattle some cages. We gotta change some mindsets, because when we started talking about this methodology, when we were doing our AI, there was a lot of back and forth, people saying that's not possible, you can't do that, it doesn't work, blah 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 blah. And Brendan and I are here to tell you that you're wrong. Just flat out, you are wrong. And so today is going to be.
By the way, we don't hold back punches, guys. Just so you know.
Today is going to be all about this, because 90, well, not 90, but probably like 60 to 70% of the agencies that are inside the high level community get inside the high level community because they listen to the Jason Wardrops and the Dom Baptists and the, all these amazing affiliate folks that we have with the high level community. And I'm not going to knock them. They're making a business, they're crushing it in their business, and they are providing a ton of value. But one of the things that they do that I don't like and I don't agree with, and I only can say this because of my own personal experience, their message around using and leveraging high level is that you guys can pay $297, $497 for this amazing software, and you can really quickly and easily go around and you can sell this software for tens of thousands of dollars. You can get all these people on SaaS. Even high level themselves push SaaS as the solution, which, as you're going to see as we get going, so do we. We just do it in a slightly different way, because one of the things that we learned really, really early on was that in order to run a SaaS company, you need to have a lot of resources to do that. You need to have support staff, you need to have sales staff, you need to have technical engineers, you need to have a whole team of people around you to properly operate a SaaS the right way. And if you're not operating it the right way, you don't have customer success managers, you don't have those types of people that are constantly engaging with your customers, making sure that they're happy, making sure that they're using the software, they're just going to up and leave all the time, because it's just a novelty item at that point that can do a lot of things. But as most of you guys also probably know, this software is a monster. It is confusing. It's hard to understand a lot of the times. And if you don't have the right systems or the right guidance in place, it can be incredibly overwhelming just to get into. So that's what affiliate sell high level to be. But that is not actually true, right? That is not the reality around building a SaaS company. That's not the reality about building a SaaS business. And when Brendan and I started selling, so I'll give you a little bit of a background here. I started as a Facebook ad agency. That's how I started. And then I found High Level.
Me too.
And then I started developing things within High Level and realizing what I actually had in High Level. And then I got sick and tired of running ads. I got sick and tired of dealing with customers on that side of it. And so I started just selling SaaS, because that's what everybody said I should do. Everybody's like, High Level's the best, you should sell SaaS. SaaS mode came out, SaaS configurator came out. I started to see a whole bunch of problems with that, but I started trying to sell SaaS. And I started trying to sell things like reputation management. And I started trying to sell things like database reactivations and all of those things that everybody says that you should sell. And so what did I have to do? I had to figure out, what's my offer, right? What am I actually going to offer? And what is that price point actually going to be? And I landed on simple reputation management for $97 a month with an upsell to do DBRs for $297, and started kind of just letting the software be the software. But when I started to get people to sign up for that, they would get in, and guys, keep in mind, like, and I'm not trying to make my head really big here, but I know the software really, really well. And I know how to make the software really, really easy to use. And that's what I did with our reputation management system and our DBR system, is I made it as easy as I could possibly fathom it being for my customers to use. But they would get in, they'd sign up, they'd maybe get on an onboarding call with me, and I'd help them load up their databases, and then I'd help them kick off their reputation management. But once that first campaign was done, they had no idea what to do with the software after that. And so they didn't continue to use it. They had just canceled. So at $97, I was still doing what I was doing as a marketing agency, where I was just going up and down, up and down. I tried raising my prices. Same thing happened, up and down. And I realized that as a one-man show at the time, that wasn't a sustainable model, because I didn't have the team around me to help me manage and fulfill customer service, which to me is super, super important. And I'm still getting better at it. I'm not perfect at it, but customer service has to be probably a number one priority if you want to run a SaaS solution, because people, especially on the Highlevel platform, aren't going to fully understand it. So that's my little preamble as to, what SaaS mode is and what the affiliates sell you and what Highlevel themselves sell you. And that's probably the mindset that a lot of you came in to this software with. And if that was you, again, I want some engagement here. If you came into the software thinking that, feeling that, you can just sell software. I want you guys to smash your ones in the chat so that I know that that's you, because I know that that's going to be the vast majority of you. Now, I don't want to be the guy to just kind of shatter your dreams. But the reality is that's not the case. You do need to build a team to run this. And when you need to build a team to run this, what do you need? You need money. You need money in order to build a team. You need money in order to scale up a business. And for your first 20, 30, 40 clients, you're probably going to be doing this all by yourself, right? What does SaaS mean? SaaS is software as a service. So that's effectively what you're selling with Highlevel. A lot of people do software with a service, which we also do, which is here's the software that you can use to do awesome, really cool things. But we're also going to layer on marketing and so on and so forth with your SaaS. So that's what SaaS is. Okay. We got a lot of ones in the chats there for sure. So everybody knows what I'm talking about, which is what I'm trying to get across. So what are we going to cover today? We are going to try to change your mindset on how to sell Highlevel. That is our number one goal, is that we want you guys to realize and understand what you guys have in your back pocket. And then obviously show you why you should be selling high ticket solutions with Highlevel, which I already kind of covered some of them. If you want to scale and you want to build a team and you want to go and live the lifestyle that you want, you need to have money to pay for a team. You need to have money to remove yourself from the business so that you can go on trips to Mexico with your family and not have to worry about your business. You need money.
Well, and also have a partner in the background that can run the company while you're in Mexico.
That's also really important. I will never shy away from getting partners ever again. So those are the two big things for today. We're going to try to change your mind, and we're going to show you why it makes more sense to start selling Highlevel as a high ticket solution. And then tomorrow, day 2, we're going to start covering fulfillment. So, hey, how do you prospect? How do you sell this thing? How do you actually fulfill it? Because obviously, if you're not doing, snapshot type systems, which by the way, if those of you guys that are in our GHL Mastery program know exactly how we feel about snapshots. Snapshots are not the savior of your business. I'm just going to tell you that right out of the gate. So if you joined Highlevel because somebody told you they were going to give you all this stuff, and then you realize you got all the stuff and now you can't actually launch a business with it, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So while SaaS can kind of offer you these templated solutions, the reality is that's not going to be what keeps your customers long-term. And so what we're going to talk about today is how do you actually keep your customers long-term? Not only sell high ticket, not only become more profitable, not only be able to build a team faster and scale faster, but how do you actually keep customers longer? Because at the end of the day, that's the key to actually growing and building a business, especially if you're growing and building a business that you one day want to exit out of. If you don't have the revenue and you don't have the monthly recurring revenue, you're never going to be able to sell that business. And so this model is going to allow you to do that on a long-term level. Okay. So first, I want to talk about us. I want to tell you guys a little bit about ourselves and kind of what we're all about. As I mentioned, Brendan and I have been using the GHL platform for the better part of 5 years now. And when we actually accidentally created GHL Mastery, to be completely honest with you. We started teaching people how to do some stuff. And it just kind of evolved into like, well, we're already doing this stuff anyways. We're already building stuff. Let's just teach people how to do it. And it just kind of exploded. But the culture of GHL Mastery is all about taking imperfect action that helps you create a highly valuable skill set that can help you create the lifestyle that you want. Because without skill sets, the people who make the most money are the people who solve the most problems, right? And so you need to have the skill set to be able to solve those problems. And that's really what GHL Mastery is all about. It's knowing and understanding the platform that you have at your fingertips, knowing and understanding how to solve problems with it. Because once you know how to do that, you can start to make a ton of money with this platform and this software. Thing number 2 is that I wrote we, but really it's but we believe that you are the only person that can actually accomplish your goals.
We do believe that.
We believe that. It doesn't matter how much coaching, training, snapshots, softwares, it doesn't matter all the goodies and the training and the things that you have in your back pocket. If you don't do the work, you will not see the results. Okay. Now we want to push you, which leads me to, step number 3 that we believe in is community. Operating a SaaS or an internet lifestyle business is a lonely, lonely island. And to put that into perspective, Brendan and I have been working together for 2 years. We've known each other for just about 4 years. I've been in several coaching programs for the last 4.5, 5 years. I only just met some of you guys literally last month. And apart from that, I've literally built a business in my bedroom as a full-time dad by myself, trying to manage a team, trying to manage clients. And man, it is a lonely, lonely island. And so having a community around you is absolutely key. We talked about this yesterday on one of our GHL Mastery calls, that having a community of people that can drag you through the mud is really, really important. Having a community of people that are going to tell you, and I literally did this yesterday. Sorry, Rob. Having a community of people that's going to tell you to get off your ass, stop building, and start selling is needed, right? Having community to me is so, so important. I used to think this was the most funny thing whenever I'd go to a sales funnel and somebody would have like, oh, you're going to get X, Y, and Z thing worth $5,000 and this thing worth $1,000 and this thing. And then the community is always priceless. I used to laugh at that. But now that I've been involved in some of these communities and these groups and these coaching programs, I'm like, without that aspect, I would not be where I am today. Without having people dragging me through the mud and encouraging me when things got hard, I wouldn't have that. And again, keep in mind, guys, like I said, I built my business in my bedroom, literally sitting beside my bed while I was a full-time dad, because my wife worked full-time to support my family while I was building this business. Man, that was hard. That was really, really freaking hard. But I had the benefit of joining some of these communities and being more intimate from a business perspective with people that were like-minded and being able to pull me and drag me through the mud. And I was able to pull them and drag them through the mud. And again, without that, I wouldn't be where I am today. So community is absolutely the most important piece of building an online business, in my opinion. If you agree with that, I want you guys to smash the chats, 1s, 2s. I don't care what it is, but if you agree that community is absolutely key, I want you to smash the like buttons and all of that sort of stuff.
Another aspect about the community, I literally, just before getting on this webinar, we've got a custom build that I've got working on right now, and I needed a little bit of advice. I called up one of our old GHL Mastery members and I said, hey, walk me through this, help me. We worked through the entire scenario in about 3 to 5 minutes. Now we have a solution for this customer. I can actually go back to that customer. And without that person, I wouldn't have a solution for that customer.
Yeah, your skill set's your skill set, but leverage other people's skill sets too to help you grow and scale. I mean, that's how Brendan and I have ended up becoming partners. Brendan knew a thing that I didn't know, and I knew a thing that Brendan didn't know, and we are like, hey, let's put our heads together and build something, and we did, right? Now, lastly, and I think just as important as community, imperfect action is going to be what sets you apart. If you just sit there trying to perfect everything about your system before you go and sell your system, you are going to be doing what I did at the very beginning. And I wasted 8 to 12 months of my life, what I call masturbating inside Highlevel, because wow, what a cool software that I can do all these really amazing things with. I'm going to go and build X, Y, and Z thing because I think and I know that everybody's going to love it, only to find out that when I went to go try to sell it, nobody cared. Right? So imperfect action, launch stuff before you're ready. Brendan and I, we called this kind of building the plane on the way down, right? Sometimes that's
build it in the air.
Build it in the air. Build it in the air. But like you guys get high level for the first time and you're like, whoa, this thing is huge. It's massive. It's big. What the heck am I going to sell? And everybody has that question. And everybody is going to be told, probably even by me, to start, sell reputation management, to start, sell database reactivations, to start, sell missed call text back, to start, do something simple. But the important piece is take imperfect action, get out there, go talk to people, because without sales, your business isn't going to grow. Period. Full stop. Okay. Imperfect action wins every single time. Okay. Let's get into it. How to sell high ticket, high level solutions. Okay. So what do you guys have in your back pocket? Are you guys ready for this? Let's make sure that everybody's ready for this first. Chats, if you're awake, let's see it. Are you awake? You guys know what to do already. One's in the chats if you are awake and ready for, we got like 6. Okay, there you go. We even got an 8. Awesome. Good stuff. Okay, guys, what do you have in your back pocket with high level? You have an extremely capable CRM that can compete with the big boys. And because it's 2024, I put in brackets girls. I should have also put they, them. I don't know. Not gonna sit on that for too long. But Salesforce, HubSpot, Infusionsoft, Service Titan, these are all massive CRMs in their own right, in their own industries. And to be quite honest, like in every industry, you will find platforms like Salesforce and HubSpot. And I truly believe that high level can and will compete with those companies, especially on the small to medium-sized business realm of those two things. You have the ability with high level to create solutions that customers and prospects actually need. And I want to stress that part. What do they actually need and what do they actually want? You have the ability to do that with high level. Okay. High level is an empty box when you first open it up. There's nothing in it. There's a lot of potential energy, but you've got to build the solutions. And so when you go and you talk to your customers about what they actually need and what they actually want, you have the ability to create those solutions. And there's not very many softwares out there that I know of that can do what high level can do in the way that high level can do it and really make it, in a lot of ways, quite simple once you understand it. Okay. The other thing that high level allows you to do is create several different profit centers and services that can be integrated into your model, right? RM marketing is our corporation. Inside of RM marketing, we have RM marketing, the marketing company. We have NurtureBox, which is our SaaS company. We have Estimator Tools, which is a tool that, by the way, you agencies can also get, but it is a tool that we use within our SaaS model. And we have GHL Mastery. We run 4 different companies through the high level platform.
Oh, you forgot about 5th, because we have
Boomerang
NurtureBox itself.
Well, yeah, that's high level. That's our high level SaaS. And then we're also adding Boomerang Me to the mix. And I'm sure you guys have heard about that as well. But you can create so many different profit centers. You can create these profit centers in so many different ways with the ability to use high levels rebilling functions. I've even talked to people who have actually, they'll do the build model like we're talking about right now, and they give the CRM away to people for free using SaaS mode, but upselling and upcharging on all of the extra stuff. So upcharging the emails and text messages and, custom webhooks and AI. They actually make their profit margin off of those things. So just another creative way that you can actually sell high level. You can give it away to people and just say, you pay for usage. And you can build a very profitable business that way too. Lots of different ways to skin this cat. So tons and tons of different profit centers that you can create out of high level. You also have, I didn't write this down, but you have the ability with high level to launch a new product or a new service in a matter of, I would say, hours, if you know how to operate inside the system. We've been able to sell brand new products, brand new services, brand new things because we template everything that we do in literally, I've launched brand new products in an hour with, sales page, workflows to automate sales and delivery. Like you can do that with high level, which then gives you the ability to test different things. You can test different offers. You can test different products. You can test whether digital or physical products. You can do that all very, very quickly with Highlevel, which I think is incredible. So that's what you have at your fingertips. You have, in my opinion, one of the most powerful CRMs available to small and medium-sized businesses that exists in the market today. But you guys all need to change your mindsets, which is what I said we were going to attempt to do today with this presentation, the boring presentation. This is the boring one, trust me. Okay, what are your customers currently using? They're either already using it or they're looking into it, or they have used it in the past, right? What are they currently using? Now, some customers are stuck in the 80s and they're still using spreadsheets to operate their business. Those are the people that you should definitely go talk to. But other companies that are already semi-established are more than likely using, I'm using two examples here because these are the ones that I could find the most information about and the ones that I personally have experience with. Salesforce. Salesforce is a massive platform. I spent 10 years as a telecommunications tech and sales rep with Salesforce. I use it every single day of my life for 10 years. After I started my business and I started thinking, with the business mindset, I actually went back and I talked to my old boss and I asked him, like, what do you pay for Salesforce? And I used the example here of a company of 8 to 10 people because that's how big my company was. So that's the frame of reference that I have. And I asked him, like, how much are you paying for Salesforce every single month? And they had the marketing suite, they had the sales suite, they had the ticketing suite. So they had it all fully loaded out. And he was paying about $3,500 a month for Salesforce. And I was like, whoa, geez, okay, that's a lot. Now, to him, that wasn't a lot. That was just what it was, right?
Cost of doing business.
It's the cost of doing business, bingo. And then I asked him, okay, so you've got this platform that can do all of these things. Did you do it yourself? Hell no, he didn't do it himself. He had to go and hire a Salesforce specialist to help him build out the systems within Salesforce that he needed to operate his business. And that was to the tune of $30,000. And when my former boss told me that, I was already 2 to 3 years into my business, and it was like a light bulb went off in my brain. Like, wait a second. There's this platform over here. And don't get me wrong, Salesforce does a lot. Salesforce is an absolute monster, more of a monster than Highlevel. But what Highlevel can do can very easily compete with Salesforce, especially in the small to medium business space. Okay, the company that I previously worked for, we were doing about $1.5 to $1.8 million a year in revenue. We had a team of about 8 to 12 people at any given time. And so the cost to operate that business was about $3,500 a month. Just on the CRM side of things, never mind marketing and other expenses. Just the CRM portion was $3,500 a month, plus the $30,000 that it cost to actually get it developed and have a support rep in their back pocket every single month to help them when they needed it. So there is one example of what you guys are up against. And I shouldn't even say what you guys are up against. What you are competing for is that business. And when people tell me that's not possible, I'm always going to point them to the conversation that I had with my boss, who's not a massive multi-millionaire business. He's a small business, to be quite honest. But he was still spending $35,000 a month for a CRM.
Now, I want to point out a little bit on mindset here also. And this has happened with us. We've had our clients that are already using one of these massive systems. They're more than willing to do a new build if it means that monthly cost goes down. They will put up $10,000 for you to migrate all of their existing circuits and workflows and everything that's operational from their company into Go Highlevel just to get that monthly cost down. So you can transfer them from, let's say $2,500 on Salesforce to $1,000 or $1,200 on you.
And to put that into perspective, what Brendan's saying is that if they're paying $2,500 a month, they're paying $30,000 a year. So if you go and you charge them $10,000, maybe $15,000 to get them off of that platform. And then let's just say that your monthly subscription to your software, I'm going to use our numbers, it's $497. Times that by 12, they're saving in that first year, they're saving over $10,000. And so a lot of these companies, if you can solve their problem, are going to be more than happy to move over that. And you just solved one right there, saving them money, right? So that's problem number one that you solve. But what else can you solve, which we will cover tomorrow in tomorrow's webinar. Okay, another one, HubSpot. Somebody, Eric Rounds just threw it in the Zoom chat. HubSpot equals so expensive. HubSpot seems nice. When I started my business, before I found Go High Level, I used HubSpot. And as a startup company back then, it was free, which is why I used it. But once I realized, wait a second, I need to add this and then this and then this and then this in order to actually have a functional CRM that can do all the things that I want to be able to do with it, it got really expensive really, really fast. So their enterprise suite is $100, $120 per user. And when you first start with that, guys, you have a 1,000 contact limit within HubSpot. If you want to add more contacts, you have to pay more per user license just to get more contacts. So this, again, we're using the same metrics where it was about 8 to 10 people in the business. It's about $3,200 per month for 10,000 contacts. So they are now limited to 10,000 contacts. Okay. With full access across all hubs, it could be approximately $3,640 to $4,150 per month. And then Brendan, who's been working a lot on our API stuff on our back ends, found a little nugget that if you want an API access into HubSpot, it can cost up to $2,000 per month on top of the actual system and CRM.
Yeah, you know that little API key that is given on every single sub account that you create in Go High Level? Yeah, to unlock that in HubSpot was $2,000 for a company we were working with. That's
so there
why
you
they
go.
asked us, can we migrate from HubSpot to Go High Level? We're like, sure, we can work with you on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Victor asked a really good question. Could I give a single sentence as to why GHL is the best CRM? I wouldn't say that it is the best CRM. I would say that for small to medium-sized businesses that just need to get their shit organized, it is a super clean, super simple. Once you've got it set up, it's a super simple thing to use. And when you follow kind of what we teach inside the GHL Mastery of building and creating a customer journey alongside your clients, which again, we're going to get into that in depth tomorrow. If you follow that structure, it's very simple and easy to use. Okay. Like realistically, everything above the line, and I'll show you what, basically that means everything above marketing. So payments, opportunities, contacts, that is where your customers should live. They don't need to live anywhere else in the CRM.
And he's meaning the menu inside Go High Level on the left-hand side. If you haven't modified it with custom CSS, on there's a hard line that you see. Everything above that is CRM actions like communications, payments, things of that nature. Below the line is your marketing center. Custom workflows, funnel
Websites,
pages,
funnels,
website
memberships.
pages, memberships, all that. So if you keep them above the line, very, very basic communications hub CRM usages, they don't need to get below the line.
No, they definitely don't. And then the ability for you as the agency or the SaaS agency, whatever you call yourselves, it is your job to make the customer journey as easy to use and as easy to follow as humanly possible. And if you can do that, then you can easily, like, honestly, when I talk to people, and again, we'll get into this in more depth tomorrow, but when I talk to people on sales calls and I ask them that question, like, what would your ideal customer journey look like? They have to think about it oftentimes because they don't even know. And so you can then start to coach them. You can then start to coach them along. Well, okay, well, what happens when a lead comes into your system? What do you do with it? What happens if your admin staff don't call that lead? What happens if, they don't book an appointment? What are you actually doing? How are you managing the flow of your people inside your system? And that one thing gets their brains working and be like, wow, I don't even think we have this in our business today. And a lot of it is like they throw spaghetti at a wall and they see what sticks with their CRM. So when you can break it down in an intelligent, easy to understand format, that is what makes Highlevel, in my opinion, one of the best CRMs. And it's super customizable. You can do it however you want to do it. However they need it done, you can build that inside Highlevel. And yes, it takes, there's a learning curve to it. But I think that if you invest time into learning this system, you have a system that can do anything that a small to medium-sized business can do. And then on top of that, go ahead, Brendan. I need a drink of water anyways.
That's very simple question of, walk me through your customer journey. Tell me what happens when a customer enters your system. Automatically positions you as a subject matter expert. You might not be. You might still have imposter syndrome and all that stuff coming to you, but they're not going to realize that in any way. And just asking those simple questions and helping them walk through that customer journey, if that's the one skill you get from this, is going to position you as a subject matter expert for these to get big builds.
Absolutely. Okay, so obviously rhetorical question, guys. Do you think Highlevel can do what HubSpot and Salesforce can do for small and medium-sized businesses? If you think that is true, I want you to put ones in the chat. If you don't think it's true, I want you to put twos in the chat, and then I'm going to call you later. We're going to have a conversation, because our experience with the Highlevel platform is any business I have ever talked to, Highlevel has the capability and the capacity to solve their problems. It truly, truly does. And I mentioned this earlier on, but if you can learn the system to solve your customers' problems, you can make a lot of money, because that is what businesses and that is what people pay for just in life in general, is they pay to solve problems. They pay for convenience, right? And it's your job as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, to find those problems and solve those problems. And what we have learned over the course of the last almost 5 years is that Highlevel can solve almost all of their problems. I say almost all. But then there's this other really cool feature of Highlevel, which is their open API. And all you need with that is a little bit of development skill set or outsourcing development, and you can literally build anything you want into this platform. But what do you need in order to hire developers? You need money. And if you don't have money, you're not going to be in business very long, which is what we want to get you guys to understand here, is that there is money out there. Okay, that's probably one of the first limiting beliefs that any new agency owner has. I don't know this system. I don't know this software well enough. I've got this snapshot that can get reviews for people. I'm going to go and sell that for $97 a month and I'm going to get rich. Unfortunately, that is not the reality. And I think the next slide is getting into breaking these numbers down. And what I want to show you guys with this portion, this is a lot of math. It took Brendan and I like 2.5 hours to just button this thing up and really get everything that we wanted to get out here. But what I want you to start to realize is that in order to scale selling just SaaS, it sounds really, really attractive. It really does. Oh, I can just go and sell this for $297, $497 a month, and I'm just going to consistently grow and build my monthly recurring revenue, and then I'm going to go retire in Mexico. Yeah, that sounds amazing. I think anybody would want to do that. But when the rubber actually hits the road, you're going to learn that it's really hard to sell a pre-built solution that everybody else in this group is also trying to sell. Now, I also believe there's a ton of business out there, guys. There's lots to go around. So having that mindset of like, I'm offering the same thing as everybody else, that is a limiting mindset for sure. There's tons and tons of business out there. So an abundance mindset is absolutely crucial. I'm not competing with any of you guys. Brendan and I are not competing with anybody here. In fact, we would love to help a lot of you guys here to get to the stage that we're at right now, right? Which obviously at the end of this webinar, you guys will have an opportunity to take us up on that. But you've got to shift the limiting beliefs inside what the Highlevel platform can do. Do you need to learn it? Yes. You need to spend some time getting to understand what you have so that you know what you can sell, what you can say yes to, and what problems you can genuinely solve for customers. You also need to shift the limiting belief that you're not worth that much money, because that is also false. And I'm going to, before we dive into this presentation, I'm going to share one story that some of you guys have probably already heard, but it was the very first time I ever sold a solution that to me was really, really simple for a high ticket price. And it completely changed everything about my life. It was a prospect. I was talking to them. They were using Service Titan, which is a CRM for contractors. And then within Service Titan, they were also using another software. I believe it was something like Thrive. It was a reputation management software of some kind. Now, originally, I went into this call trying to get them to change, right? Go get away from Thrive and go to me. But they were absolutely set in their ways. But they said, you know what? One thing that I really wish I could do that I can't do right now is I can't take a lead from here, put it here, and then send the review automatically. It's always been a two-step process for us. And I was like, well, I could probably make that happen like fairly easily. Now, I already knew how to do it. I knew that I could just go to Zapier. I could connect the two CRMs and I could, when this happens, do this and then send the review request. And Bob's your uncle, it was done. I knew that was going to take me about an hour and a half to 2 hours maximum. At the time, I kind of valued myself at $150 an hour. So I just kind of assumed, oh yeah, I'll charge you $300 for that. No, I didn't say that. I went to my coach, my mentor, and I was like, this is kind of new to me. I don't know how I should price this out. And he just flat out told me, like, well, how much time is this going to save them? I was like, well, according to the conversation that I had with them, a ton. He's like, okay, charge them $5,000. And I was like, nah, you're nuts. Like, there's no freaking way. But I guess I had built up enough rapport on that call with them for them to understand that I knew how to solve the problem that they needed solved. So sure enough, I got on a second call with them and I gave them the quote and how much it was going to cost to put this thing down. And it was $5,000. And they're like, awesome, send me the invoice. And
Not
I
even
was
flinching.
They didn't flinch. I was in shock. I was in total shock because my own limiting beliefs of what I could actually do and what I could sell this for to solve a problem existed then. Right. And that's kind of, again, just so many aha moments over the course of the last 5 years for me that have gotten us to the point of like, this is so much easier to do. So that one job took me 2 hours. It made me $5,000. And I couldn't believe it. So what we're about to show you guys here is a lot of math. And so hopefully you get it. Sometimes it goes over my head, but we spent a good chunk of time on this, breaking this down so that you guys can hopefully understand the difference between the effort required to do what we're going to show you guys how to do tomorrow versus the effort required to just sell SaaS. Okay. So I need to stop sharing my screen. I need to get rid of my presentation. And while I'm doing this, guys, if anything that I am telling you is making sense, that it's resonating, I want to know. So what kind of customer pays 5K? Sean, it was a roofing company. So yeah, I didn't think that they pay 5K either.
I'm going to say all of them.
If you solve a problem,
a business coach, yeah, I was talking to a business coach friend of mine, and I brought up that like, yeah, and I know how to utilize Zapier and other communication systems like that. And you know how to do that? I've had like over the past 2 years, I've had more than 8 companies come to me for that and have paid between $5,000 to $10,000 every single one of them to get those solutions. It's like, wait a second. Next time you have one, call me. I'll take care of that. No problem. Like, people will pay because they don't understand it. And
they have a problem that they need solved and they can't.
It's cheaper for them to pay you than it is to learn it to do it themselves.
Bingo. And Sean, you said, what did they buy? What did they buy? They literally bought me creating a Zap for their company.
And if I remember correctly, you said it was like a 3-step Zap.
It was a 3-step. Yeah, that was all it was. And I had to, the reason that it took
So
me 2 hours to do
input,
it was that I had to
convert,
get
send.
all the access to all the things that I needed to get, which was the first hour. And the second hour was putting it all in place and then testing it. That's what I sold them for $5,000. So Sean, I'm going to just single you out here because that's sometimes what I do. You're thinking the same way that many other people in the high level community are thinking. Who will pay this much?
All of them.
Any business will, and to be quite honest, we are now at the point in our business where we are of that same mindset too. If there's something that we don't know how to do, it's not worth our time to figure it out. Sometimes we'll pay somebody else to do it. And when you start to make money, you can do that kind of stuff, right? It's called FU money. I don't want to do it, you do it. And I'm happy to pay you to do it because it's going to save me time. And again, that's what's going to develop the lifestyles that you want, right? The reason that everybody wants to work from their laptop is so that they can own their own schedule and go on vacations and work anywhere around the world and not be tied to a desk, right? So once you kind of shift that mentality of they won't pay it to what problems can I solve that they will pay for, that's kind of where you're going to shift some things here. Okay. Brennan, comparison breakdown chart, correct?
Yes, please bring her up.
All right. Bringing it up now, and you're going to have to request remote control again. Approved. And we're going to walk you guys through some of the numbers.
All right. So on the left here, we have the custom build after 1 year. So basically, after 1 year, what are you going to be making? And then the SaaS model after a year. After 1 year, what are you going to be making? Now, we put in some factors in here of like, after you have this many customers, you need to hire somebody. And we did all that in the back end. So on this, all right, let's go with the SaaS model since that's what everybody seems to be doing. Now, go high level. When SaaS model came out about 2 years ago, and Paulson was talking to everybody about doing that, he said you do a monthly service software fee at $297, and you do a setup fee at $297. So you're going to do the $297 setup with a recurring $297 every single month. So that's why we put those numbers in. Now, for custom build, we've done some smaller ones. I've literally sent out a $1,500 proposal this morning. So we're doing a small little work for somebody. It's going to take us probably a week and we'll be done. On the other side, we've done some big builds up to $10,000 to $12,000 builds. So we're like, let's do $7,500. Now these ones are fully, we can move this to 5,000. And as you can see, all of our numbers are going to adjust. So it depends on how much on average you're going to be doing.
Nope, yes, 75,000. One day.
That is going to be a build that we're going to do one day. All right. So after a year, your recurring monthly revenue is going to be about 55 here, about 50 there. That's revenue though. Not bad. But how many clients do you need to get there? You need, from this personal build model, you only need to get in 1 year, you need to get 5 per month, which will come at the end of the year, you'll have 60 clients. On the other model, you need to be out there and you need to get 13 new clients every month for the end of the year being 156 clients. So
now keep in mind, guys, this is like ideal scenarios, right? You want to hit 50K a month. This is kind of what needs to happen in order to hit that.
Now, I will say this chart does not factor in one very, very critical factor: churn rate. We didn't put a churn rate in here. Now, what we've noticed switching from selling software to custom build, our churn rate has drastically diminished. When we're on the SaaS model, we're seeing, I mean, what was the lifespan of a customer? 3 months, 6 months?
3 months, yeah.
3 to 4 months. Custom builds.
Have we lost one yet?
I'm
We
like,
haven't
I don't think
lost
we
one
have
yet.
churn rate yet. And so to put that in perspective, we've been doing custom builds for a year and a half, almost 2 years. We don't have a churn rate. So this has a higher retention. You're not going to have to be chasing as often. This one here, if we put that churn rate in, that number just starts to skyrocket. Okay. Now, expenditures. In this build model, we don't have to hire as many people. Me and Adam, I mean, we're looking, you want that 50,000. When we hit the 50,000 mark, this was roughly our annual expenditures running in this custom model. Now, if you're running in a SaaS model, you've got this many clients, 156 clients. Oh, that's what it was. It threw me off because it's this way. Hold it the other way. Go.
Hit the other button.
Pushing the wrong one. Pushing the wrong one. All right. That's what threw me off. I was like, wait, sorry. So you have 4 times the expenses in a SaaS model. You're going to have more customer service. You're going to have to hire more sales reps. You're going to have to hire more dev teams, all that kind of aspects in order to get this model
Now,
going.
what we base that number off of, guys, just so you are all aware, is that we basically assume that for every 20 to 25 SaaS customers you get, you will need to have another support person to help you manage those clients. And for every 20 to 25 customers you get, you also need to then hire a sales rep to help you continue to hit those volume goals. And that sales rep typically, industry standard, is about 10% of all sales. So that's where that number comes from, is that you're going to have to hire support staff, customer service staff. You're going to have to hire sales reps in order to maintain this and to continue hitting those numbers and scale it above and beyond. So that's kind of where that estimate came in.
Now, I will say this, and this is something that should be brought up. If we stop selling today, we will have a lower monthly revenue on the custom build side than on the SaaS side. We're also going to have that higher churn, and that monthly revenue is going to go way faster on the SaaS side. Now, I'm looking at the chat here. Pauline, you brought up a thing. Everybody's saying the opposite. So they're saying the opposite. They're saying the opposite about agencies versus SaaS. In our custom build model, it's still technically SaaS, but we're customizing the experience in the beginning, building exactly the software that they want, and that's why they're going to stay longer. So that's the difference between this model. The other model that, like Paulson and everybody's talking about, is running a social media marketing agency versus SaaS. So inside this solution, after all these expenditures, we're going to have total annual profits of over $600,000 versus under $500,000 running these two models. Now, how do we get there?
And just to be clear, guys, that's with the same monthly recurring revenue goal. So the way that we set this up was like, hey, you want to make $50,000 a month, monthly recurring revenue? That's what these numbers are based off of hitting. So let's keep on going, because this next part is the really, really important part. And especially for those of you that are maybe just starting out, you've got to go find your pond to fish in. You've got to figure out what you're offering. You've got to book those sales calls. You've got to do those demos. This part is really, really, really important to understand.
Okay, I'm going to answer this really quick. Bob put in there, but can't you just outsource onboarding and support to Extendly or HL Pro Tools? You could, but there's one major downfall with doing that. If you are just selling Go Highlevel, you can do that. Sure. You put any, and I mean any, even the slightest customization to your snapshot, or you're loading any snapshot of any kind, they will not support the snapshot. They only support the general knowledge of Go Highlevel. And so now all of those customers that are asking about, well, when a client enters this part of my workflow, they're going to this section, Extendly and Go Pro Tools go like, oh, you got to go ask this person. And all those support tickets are going right back to you.
And so I'll speak to that a little bit, because when I first started, Bob, I actually had I used HL Pro Tools. Extendly wasn't as big back then. So I used HL Pro Tools for about 2 years when I first started, because I didn't want to do support. And just what Brennan said, like, I had the ticketing system built into my software, and my customers could go to it and they could do the knowledge base portion was probably the biggest asset that I had with HL Pro Tools, was they could just go to the knowledge base and figure out how to do something themselves. But everything that I had built, I had built. So I took people's snapshots, I learned how they did stuff, and I custom built everything. Anytime somebody opened up a ticket, and I mean probably about 80% of the time, if somebody opened up a ticket with HL Pro Tools, I would still get the email saying, hey, this person opened up a ticket for this because X, Y, and Z thing, and we don't know what to do. So I was still playing the support role for my customers anyways when I was using HL Pro Tools. So to Brendan's point, if you're just selling straight SaaS, the empty box high level, then HL Pro Tools, Extendly are fantastic. Would highly recommend them. But the second you start to build stuff for your customers inside high level, they don't support it. And maybe that's changed. It's been a year and a half since I used them. So if anybody's out there using Extendly right
still hearing
now,
that today.
let me know. But that's kind of the big thing. Now, I will never knock HL Pro Tools or Extendly, because they have some of the best software development teams in the business. For those of you that maybe have Extendly, their agency snapshot is probably the most well thought out, most well built snapshot I've ever seen somebody make, and I'm putting myself in that category. The problem with it is that it's too big. It does everything. It's super confusing. Nobody knows how to actually properly use it. It took me probably 2 hours to comb through it and understand what they were doing. And I was like, geez, this is actually freaking brilliant. But the average person just starting out is going to get that snapshot and be so overwhelmed that they won't even know what to do with it. And I'm sure that there's some of you guys in here right now that have had that experience. But anyways, we're at the top of the hour already. So let's close off with this portion, because what this last portion is, guys, is kind of the goals that you need to set for yourself, whether you're doing custom builds or straight SaaS, in order to hit that 50K mark in 12 months is really what this breakdown is. So Brendan, go ahead. Let's get that bottom portion covered.
So we were up here and we're saying, okay, we're going to need 60 clients to meet our goal in a year. Over here is 156. Well, how many clients do you currently have? Well, we're going to just say on both sides, we're going to say we're starting off with 5 clients. This can be 100% adjusted. I can move this down to 1 or anything of that nature. So how much are we making per client at this point? If you add up over a 12-month period of their recurring revenue on the model, plus if you break out that build fee over that 12 months, on average per client, we're making about $922 for the custom build side. On the other side, we're only making $322. So at 5, we're going to need another 55 clients to get another 151 clients over here. We have it calculated out here. When do we want to meet this goal? We said 1 year. It's about 1 year from today. Okay, so we've got 12 months. Let's say our closing ratio is 20%. If our closing ratio is 20%, well, we need to, how many do we need to hit our goal? This is closing per week. We need to close 5 calls per week in this model, 13 calls per week. Or sorry, per month, my bad.
Per month.
5 calls per month on this model, 13 per month on this other. Which means how many calls do you need to make per day? Just under 1 per day on this model. You need to be just over 2 in the SaaS model. And going with all the full calculations, in order to get these numbers up here, how many do we need to book per month? In our custom build model, we need to have 1 per day booked on our calendar.
And that assumes a 50% show rate, which means only half of those 31 that are booked are actually going to show up. And that's probably pretty accurate.
So on the other model, we need 3 per day on our calendar. So what these charts over here are showing, this bottom is our custom build. That orange is how much revenue you're going to be making overall over this in a month per month. But the blue line right there, that's how many clients you're going to have to get in order to get there. So on the left is the amount of money. The right is how many clients. So you can see it's way lower down here. Your money to client ratio is pretty substantial.
Your SaaS is going to creep slower. You're going to have a slightly lower monthly recurring revenue from the SaaS side of things, but your overall revenue per month, because you're doing custom work, is going to be way higher. And we're only telling you guys this is because this is what we shifted to a year and a half ago, and we were like, holy crap, we have money now. Even at the start, we were only closing about 2 to 3 new custom builds per month, but we all of a sudden had money to hire people that could help us fulfill on this stuff. We had money to hire people who could help us sell stuff. We had enough margin available that we could hire sales reps and still pay them commission and still make money. Right. And it was infinitely more scalable than the SaaS model is, which Brendan's going to cover now.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, to the point, we've been doing this for a minute. You need 5 new clients per month. I had 5 new clients last week for custom builds that are going to be churning into SaaS clients that are going to be on our systems. So it might take a minute to get to these numbers, but once you do, I had 5 in a week. It's going to turn out to be probably 10 or 15 this month.
It's a lot.
So on the other side, as you can see, your monthly revenue is not going to be, it just, doesn't grow as fast. It will finally get to close to the same level here. But that blue line shows you how much work you're going to have to be doing in order to get there. That's how many clients you have in order to get to these numbers here. So the question comes down to, which model would you rather do? Both of them technically end in SaaS, but one of these is custom builds to get them on the SaaS. The other one is just selling the features of Go Highlevel.
There you go. Now, guys, we're at the 1 hour mark here, and we've still got to break out into our GHL Mastery support call today. But there's a couple of questions in the chat that I do want to address before we close out today. And yeah, I think they're really important. Pauline, you asked what's included in a custom build. We have seen all sorts of things included in custom builds. It can be a full-scale, full-out customer journey build where you're doing pipelines, websites, funnels, opt-in pages, workflows, like building an entire functional system for them, which for us is going to be anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, depending on the complexity of it. We've had custom builds that were just simple funnels and landing pages that we've sold for $1,000, right? We've had, I gave you guys the example of the Zap. That's technically a custom build. The thing that we focus on, which we're going to talk about in depth tomorrow, is it doesn't really matter what the custom build is. It is what is the problem you are solving and what is that actually going to do for the customer.
Now, I'm going to caveat this with what's in a custom build a little bit. Yes, it needs to be what the customer can solve, but it also has to be with one of 2 things: your skill set or the skill set of the person that you can hire to do it. So if you are looking at doing this yourself and doing custom builds for people, your skill set has to match what you're going to be able to do for them. Now, tomorrow we'll talk how you can use a fractional dev team, aka Go Highlevel Mastery, in order to leverage us, in order to go out there, sell a $5,000 or a $10,000 build, leverage our skill set in order to get it accomplished.
Yeah. JP, you just said, hey, how do you go to market to sell this? My honest answer is the same way as everyone else. You need to come up with a scary offer that people will want, that will make people interested, and interested enough to get on a call with you. And then the difference between becomes how you actually do that call, which we'll talk about tomorrow. Because traditional SaaS demo calls is, look at this amazing software, look at all the cool things and all the cool features that it can do. It can change your business. The reality is most people are going to see that and go, oh my gosh, that's overwhelming. I don't want to spend the time to do this. Whereas you're going to get them in the call the same way, but you're going to change the conversation that you have with them around, instead of look at this amazing solution that we have, to what amazing solutions do you wish you had? And that's the only difference. It's literally the only difference. So guys, with that, I'm gonna just pull one last thing up here.
Hold up, I want to cover this also. Thomas just asked a great question. Do you custom build and then find the customer, or find the customer and then custom build? Find the customer, find out what their problem is, then go build the solution from your skill set.
And guys, sometimes that custom build can be so, like, it might blow your mind how simple it is. It blew my mind that somebody was willing to pay me $5,000 to connect one CRM to another, so that when they moved somebody to this stage, this happened. And then when this happened, that got updated. That's all I had to do. That was a custom build. And so leverage your knowledge, your skill set to find out what problems people have. And I'll use this as an example, because this is kind of how this is how GHL Mastery got created by accident. I was getting so sick and tired of marketing for real estate agents. I was getting so sick and tired of churn rate trying to sell SaaS to small businesses. And I got onto a coaching call. I got onto a call with my business coach, which some of you guys know. And he just walked me through a very simple process. And I call it the 10-10-10 method, which we're going to cover tomorrow. But it was basically helping me to find and understand who my perfect target was and what I could potentially sell them. So what I did with that 10-10-10 method that I'm going to teach tomorrow, I took that and I went and I talked to a friend of mine, one of my closest friends. And I literally sat him down and I said, if you didn't have to do something in your business, what would it be? And he told me he does exterior cleaning, pressure washing, window cleaning. And he told me, I'll go to work in the summertime and I'll work, sometimes 10, 12, 14-hour days as an owner operator. And then I have to come home and I have to respond to all of the people who requested quotes from my website, from my ads. And that takes me another 2 hours. And then I got to go and invoice the customers that I just did work for that day. And so I said, okay, that sounds annoying. He's a dad. At the time, he only had one daughter. Now he's got two. And I said, well, how can we fix that problem? Because that was his big problem. He didn't want to go to work every day, come home and continue to work and miss out on time with his family and time with his daughter. So that was the solution that I said, I think I can fix that. I used Highlevel to create an estimator that I put on his website that people would put in their information about their house and it would give them a quote. I just saved him 3 hours a day. And on top of that, I also created a system that once that quote was generated, he had to fill out a form to say, this job's actually going to be $500, submit, and then it would send the invoice through his invoicing software. Right. So that's
which is actually this is how Adam and I met. And
exactly.
talk about custom builds. I saw what Adam was doing and said, you need a better solution because you're using workflows and it's not the user experience
fast enough.
Is not good. And you're losing customers. You lose a customer with the experience. So I brought my expertise to Adam, helped him with a custom build and solved his problem. And that's how we partnered together.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's literally how to sell. You go and you find the problems that they're having. And then with the system and the skill set and the knowledge that you have, you can start to charge higher ticket prices for those types of solutions. And you never know, maybe you're going to end up accidentally building a kick-ass SaaS solution that you can also then just go and sell as a standalone item on the side. Because that's what happened with estimator tools. I solved one business's problem and realized, wait a second, a lot of businesses have the same problem. And now I had a new product that I could sell. Right? Okay. So I need to know from some of you guys, does everything that we've talked about make sense to you guys? Do you see what you're competing against, what potential you have with Highlevel, and B is the next one. I've been talking for too long. And then B, do you see that there's a potential for you to actually start to do this? I want to see ones, yeses, absolutely, fire emojis. If you feel like this is a model that you would like to try out, first of all,
And if you don't think so,
don't show up tomorrow.
Put a no in there.
Adam,
I mean, if you're still
quick,
on the fence of this,
I was just going to jump in quickly, Adam, and ask if you would like for me to share what I did to sell the high ticket builds.
Yes.
In
sure.
All right. Second time on camera.
Woohoo!
I'm in the pool thing.
Hang on, Kelly. I'm gonna pin you.
No, don't do that.
You're getting pinned. Boom.
Basically, look, my SaaS shirt on. Basically, went to the potential client, and said, here's the deal. I know small business. I know how to operate in that world. And I know the tech ish. Actually, Brendan and Adam know the tech, and I have them as support. So that's my tech, right? But basically, I know what the system can do for the most part. So let me come in, and I'm kind of playing almost a COO role, right? Like, where are the leaks in your business? I'm sitting in their office right now, and basically it's nasty, but it's a pool plastering company, right? But basically, hey guys, where are your leaks? What's going on with your world that I see? There's money flowing out the business because you don't have the tech to, like, miscall text back, and the things that we all know, right? In Highlevel that can make a difference, even the nurture sequencing and the Google reviews, all those things. They don't have any of that, but they don't know what they don't know, right? So kind of me going to them and saying all those words is Greek. So what I did instead was I said, okay, let me get in your business, and I'm on site, and basically, how do your processes work? I looked at all their digital assets through their entire company, their website, their everything. They didn't even own their own domain. That was a problem. So I'm kind of solving the problems as I see it. And they're trusting me to do that. So we have a relationship. But bottom line is, I sold the build for 20,000. So because I'm hands-on, on-site, figuring out, I'm going in their business, figuring out their problems, and then applying the solution.
Now, Kelly, you didn't just do this with the pole plastering company. You got a second one, didn't you?
Yes. So in the middle of that, as I'm doing that with and which is why I'm literally almost to tears right now, because I have so much, I can't do it all. So Brendan and Adam, I'm going to be, y'all help me.
You're already booked in.
I know.
I've got a call with you next Wednesday. I got it.
I know. But what I'm saying is, so in the middle of this chaotic build, because I still am learning, right? And they're trying to help me as fast as they can. They sent their friend, who also sold that one as well, for that amount, based on, I don't know what's going on in your business, but let me get in there and see. So there is the caveat: if I get in there and everything's buttoned up and perfect and there's nothing for me to do, that we're going to change. But I already know that's not the case, right? So one discovery call with them and asking them a few questions, I could see some of the issues that were going on. Not with this company, it was so obvious, it was glaring. With the painter company, I'm like, hey, tell me this, tell me that, asked a few questions, and determined I can actually help them, and and sold the job. So, and then after the build out is paid, then it's $1,200 a month. So, and I'm
So
not taking anybody else.
even beyond what we just showed of, selling the custom build and then a regular SaaS model price of $297 or $497, you're actually staying on retainer for even more than that.
Right. Right.
And you're not running ads.
No, but
you're not managing a tech team.
Right. Well, kind of
managing us a little bit.
Yeah. kind of with you guys. And I've also had, and I love Extendly, but that wasn't a solution for me. And I was paying HL Pro Tools an unbelievable amount of money, and just quickly realized that that was not the solution for me. And praise God, Adam was kind-hearted enough to help me kind of move into this scary world of, what do I do if I can't do something? And he's like, gotcha. So basically, it helped me catapult me into, I can go sell and figure it out. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, guys.
Awesome. I'm gonna bug you just a little bit here, Kelly, because Kelly actually joined the GHL Mastery program a while back and left.
I didn't want to.
She didn't want to. She didn't have a choice, and I get it. I'm never going to hold that against you. But the thing that I love about Kelly is that Kelly then, even though she left the GHL Mastery program, didn't stop doing what we had talked about doing in general. She went and found this pool plastering company, which just so happened to be friends of yours. So where do you find your first customers? That's where, which again, we're going to talk about tomorrow. But Kelly then hit me up and said, Adam, they need so much help. I don't know how to sell the solution. I know Highlevel is the solution, but I don't know how to sell it. I don't know what to do. So what did we do, Kelly?
So, because I also knew that they resonate with his vibe. The guys are very much like Adam. I didn't know Brendan as much at that point, but same deal. But basically, I was like, listen, I think that you talking to them and you speaking your lingo, because he's very low key about it. He's very like hands off, not high pressure sales, and would give them the confidence. And so he got on a Zoom with them. And basically, it was over after that. They were like, yeah, we like him. Let's go.
So hold up. That happened with the plaster company, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What happened with the painting company?
That was all me.
Well, there was also a call that I jumped on with you and the painting company as well, wasn't there?
Oh, that was after we sold it. But
after
yes.
you sold it, but yeah, to just clarify and basically help solidify some processes that you were going to be doing.
Yes. Yes. So after it was sold, I thought you meant pre-selling, but yes, I mean they're amazing. And sometimes I want to take Brendan and smash his face in because he's a turkey to me, but most of the time I need it.
That's community aspect that we're talking about earlier, guys.
Yeah, but I don't know what I'd do without him. So, but I really don't want you guys to hire them. Just be clear, because I really need them. So can you help me get y'all hold out till I get through.
Mute her quick.
Please don't do that yet. No, I just am forever grateful, and I know they were placed into my life for a reason, and I can't say enough. So
awesome.
That's the deal. And I'm so exhausted right now that I'll probably cry if I keep talking. So I'm gonna put the camera.
Well, we're gonna have a platinum breakout room for you here in just a couple of minutes, so you'll be able to get in there and grill Brendan a little bit today. So, guys, we are going to close out with this. If anything that Kelly just talked about resonates with you, if you feel like you are close, but you're not quite there yet, that you need a little bit of a push, you need somebody who's going to kick you in the ass sometimes, and push you over the edge. Obviously, we're running a webinar. We're going to do this every single time, but we would love to have you in our GHL Mastery program, guys. We have done a ton of work.
Despite what Kelly says.
This is despite what Kelly says. We have done a ton of work to make, our GHL Mastery program one of the best programs out there for agencies. And we built it around what we felt we were missing when we first joined Highlevel. We had to teach ourselves how to do absolutely everything. And, I tried HL Pro Tools and still didn't get the training and the support that I needed. And so we built this program around hands-on, helping you do what you need to do. So we have 5 calls a week, Monday through Friday. We get on a call for 2 hours every single day to help you guys do whatever you need help with. And when I say hands-on with builds, I mean hands-on with builds. We take control of your computer. You tell us what you're trying to do or what your client needs, and we will actually get in there and build it alongside you, with you, for you, and make sure you understand what it is that we're building. We have our ticketing system and our agency support. I should have probably added this, but we also have white label build options for you guys. We have our GHL Mastery, which get 25% off all of those. And we have our Platinum, which gets them for free. And then we've got obviously snapshots, funnels, AI. We've got a whole bunch of other assets that you guys get as a part of that. And right now, because we're doing this webinar, this will only be available when we do webinars, is that we have a 30-day trial for $197 for the first 30 days. It's regular $497 a month for you to jump in. But for right now, literally, this is going to end tomorrow at midnight. You will not be able to get this offer until we do our next big events. But the trial to get in is at $197. You're going to get an onboarding call with Adam, which is going to help you kind of figure out what direction you need to go. Not me, other Adam.
Really quick, the name Alex at GHL Mastery is the person he's talking about. His first name is Adam. He goes by Alex, so we can differentiate between the two on our team.
But you're gonna get on an onboarding call with him. He's gonna help you kind of figure out what the next direction is, what you kind of need to focus on, and then you'll hop on these calls with us every single day of the week, so that you can get the help that you need to help build out and create the business that you want. So if you join today or tomorrow, it's $197, but it will end at midnight. So there's the link right there. And Adam, Noman, make sure you send it in there so that people can just click on it and get it. It's only available until midnight tomorrow.
Adam, can you briefly cover the difference between VIP and Platinum? Because Platinum is our higher level.
Yes. So VIP's regular price is $497. That's going to get you access to our ticketing system. It's going to get you access to our assets like our Core 4 AI system, which we're constantly adding to and making better. You're going to get access to those 5 calls a week and access to our ticketing system, so that instead of going to high level support, you can come to the guys who actually know what the hell they're talking about to help you solve those problems. And
unless
that's a ticketing system
issue on the back end of GHL.
That's true. We are not. We can't handle those.
Anything else then.
But any other basic support requests, build requests are available to you in the VIP group. Platinum is the step up, and Platinum is really where, if you want to get into these custom builds, you should really consider Platinum. It's $997 a month, but even though that might sound like a mouthful, what you're actually getting for $997 a month is an entire dev team. We'll help you sell things like we did with Kelly. We'll help you sell your solutions if you need it. We will help you develop those solutions, create funnels, websites, custom builds, the works, which is all included in Platinum. You just put in your build requests, we build it, and we send it over to you.
And another big benefit of the Platinum is that on all of our regular calls, we'll have, 10, 20, 30 people in each call. Platinum gets its own breakout room, which is much smaller. I've been on one-on-one calls inside Platinum for 2 hours because nobody else showed up. So if you really want that hands-on one-on-one time, we typically in the Platinum room, I'll get to spend anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour on one person every single time that I'm in.
Well, also, Brandon, just to say, I mean, we all learn from each other too. So even when you're helping someone else, it's so in depth that I've learned a ton just watching that too. Yeah,
absolutely. We're all at different stages, which is, I think, what makes it great. That's the community aspect, right? We went overtime yesterday by about 45 minutes because, we had to help one of our Platinum members needed a little bit of an extra hand up. And not only did that turn out to be, hey, here's how you actually do this for 4 or 5 other people, but it also had, mindset components in there that really benefited everybody. And so that's kind of what we're talking about when we say the community is there to help drag you through the mud when you need it sometimes, right? Because one of the things that I've always had a problem with, and guys, I'm going to close on this because I really want to get our VIP room open. One of the things that I've always struggled with personally as an entrepreneur is that I was always in my own mind 6 months ahead of where I where I wanted to be, right? I was never there, and I was always too far behind, and I always wanted to be better than I was. And if I didn't have the community of people pushing me and telling me to get off my ass and go and do things that I knew I needed to do, I would not be where I am today. Right. And so that's where the community comes in. So for those of you guys that are already VIP, we're going to be closing this meeting down. You can go into the group. You can get onto the standard regular Zoom link. Obviously, it's going to be an hour and a half instead of 2 hours today. And then the rest of you guys, we hope to see you tomorrow. We're going to be covering our actual, here's how we do it. Here's how we found our prospects. Here's how we actually do our sales calls. Here's how we get them on our sales calls. And then once we've actually sold the systems and sold the solutions to them, here's how we actually fulfill. And we are going to be covering all of that tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be a big one. For those of you that are still kicking around, we've lost about 33 people since the start of this call. So for those of you guys that are still around, I hope to see you guys all tomorrow. And we will get this show on the road. So VIPers, we'll see you in the VIP room on Wednesday. If you guys take us up on the trial right now, we will make sure that Adam gets you the link to join the VIP call right now. So yeah, we'll see you guys on the other side. Peace out. Take care.
Later, everybody.